Hello, beautiful beings. Doozer wants to say hello.
Hi, Doozer. Hi, bud. Everybody's saying hi. You good boy. Did you miss your mommy today? I missed you so much. It was so hard being away from you.
It took me 7 hours. Well, okay, 6 hours and 45 minutes to clean the lake house today. The people had been there for a month, which is rare. It may not ever happen again in my my career cleaning the lake house. That's how rare it is. Where am I looking? Okay. I face my phone different ways at times. Yeah, so I'm seeing in my screen there that I put something new up. I want to read to you. I, Mamaji, see and draw to me through divine love those beings who seek enlightenment through my process. The sharing will elevate us both now. And that is Theo. Who used to channel Theo? Was it Jane Roberts? I believe so. So that was a message that he gave us and said that if we say that, these words are just the perfect vibrational match to helping, like, basically they're showing me being a spotlight, on the coast, on the ocean. And so that's what the frequency is when I read things like this very, very often. And I've been reading this for a long time too, but recently I've been sorting through papers and different things and getting more and more organized than I have been. And so the things that I've been reading for years, I decided to just put up. And yeah, one of them is from the Abraham Hicks video that I put in the description box in my last video. Right now, what I'm practicing at this very moment is, and I prayed about it and meditated on it before I started this video, I am becoming incredibly aware of my train of thought as I'm recording a video, because I'm not just going to settle for, oh, sometimes I'm just forgetful during videos. No, it's because some would call it ADD or ADHD, squirrel. My attention can go to different thoughts very easily, and then I lose that train of thought that I was on. I jump onto another train, they're saying, and it takes me away. I'm like, no, I left something on the other train. It's just an example of things that they show me. So, and they're saying that that's one thing that makes me forget also, is the visuals that they give me when they want to convey something. However, okay, so this is my practice right now. So far I haven't forgotten, because I am staying very aware of staying on track. I just asked them, will that obstruct the flow at all? And they said no, as I was asking it. They know when I'm going to ask something. So, all right, ancients, why are we making this video? And thank you for helping me not forget. I'm not just going to stop at, oh, that just happens when I make videos, but not when I'm holding satsang with a real human being. I'm not just going to stop right there. No way, man. There's always room for improvement. And if it makes my life easier and cuts down on the mental, any useless mental activity, then I'm going to do it. And I will do it diligently, and I will perfect it. I don't believe in perfection, but as far as perfect goes in this case, perfect to me is recording a whole video without forgetting. Sure, okay, maybe that is, asking too much, but that's my goal. And so if that's my goal, I won't beat myself up if I do forget. They're saying when you do forget. They always make sure that I'm very easy on myself, because following this that I am following right now, I want it to be perfect. I don't want to forget, because I don't like it. I feel that what the ancients are saying, well, what we're saying, what's channeling through is important, and I want it to be as coherent as possible to other people. Yeah, if if you don't have a mind or no mind like us, it may be hard to track us. However, they are saying that if you actually listen to one of my videos to the very end, even though we talk about a lot of different things, there is something. If you're watching the video, your soul like pulled you to one of these videos, there's something in there for you. It's like they're showing one of my videos to them is opening a treasure box. That's beautiful. Because you just don't know, like by the title, you still have no idea what we're going to talk about. I mean, we will definitely talk about what's in the title, but there's just way more than that always. Wow, we are doing so great, not forgetting, not veering off. I've almost done it, but I'm not even going to talk about it because that'll make me veer. Okay, ancients. Okay, pop quizzes. Yes. Okay. They're saying go even slower. I love practicing things. I've been doing it for so long that I just don't feel it's fun. No, I just love doing it. I don't need to explain why. Well, and it just always leads to such a beautiful place too. So, pop quizzes. Cosmic A pluses. Hands down. If there's a higher grade they're saying, then I'm getting it. So, my most recent was the lesson man. A dog in distress. See, that was a test right there. The lesson man. On one of my last videos, or even the last couple videos, I was talking about how I could see him coming in closer and closer into my experience. Yeah, my awareness is as sharp as eagle talons now, they're saying. I was going to say as sharp because they showed me the eagle, as sharp as eagles, like an eagle's eyesight. Distraction. See, that's lower energies trying to distract me from accomplishing my goal, to not forget. I am rooted. I just turned my attention. I didn't realize I wasn't fully there. Completely to presence now. I am rooted there. What I'll describe, can I without forgetting? Pop quizzes. Okay, they're writing it on a board for me. I'm seeing more and more stuff on my left now. Oh, okay. I'm staying with pop quizzes because that was a, okay. All right, I'm not going for it. Okay, oh, this is so good. I'm already really good at this. It's just today I realized I can overcome this. I can do this. And I can. Because I have help also. And I asked for help. So pop quizzes. So, yes, I've been seeing him in my experience, and he messaged me. The only reason he could message me is because I erased his number, and so that also unblocks them. I didn't even think of that. So I figured he would eventually, even if it was months, he would eventually message me, and he did the other day. But before he messaged me, he came over with 3 hoodies that he had messaged me about like a couple days before that. I don't know if I'm making sense. It doesn't matter. All these details are so freaking boring to me. Anyway, so he, like a few days go by, he asked if I wanted them. And I said, sure, yeah, heck yeah. I'll check them out. If I don't want them, I'll, ask my girls if they do, or take them to the thrift store. And unannounced, he hasn't been over to my place for months now. And he just walked over with them. And I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah, I am fully aware now. All of my eyes are open, they're saying. And last summer, it was 100% different scenario. That's why this is a pop quiz. Have you really released the desire for him? Have you really released giving somebody that emotionally and physically abuses you? Have you released giving them more chances? Have you released overextending yourself? Yes. Yes, I have. And I haven't even wavered. I invited him to this some music coming up in the next town over. And that's harmless to me. That's me just being me, they're saying. And I've been nice to him every single time I see him. And he grimaces when he tries to smile at me. Until recently. And he's been starting to be nice to me instead of completely ignoring me or trying to smile, but it's just an absolute grimace. So what I've learned is when this person is nice to me, it's because he wants something from me. Period. No, I'm not just being skeptical. Absolutely not. This is right on. I did almost a year of research on this lesson that I've went through. It was a 9-month lesson, but of course I kept diving into it months after that, healing and making damn sure that whatever he was mirroring inside of me, my light of awareness was lighting the fuckers up. Because I'm not going through the pain I went through last summer. I'm not going through this lesson again. And I feel a strength that, the strength that I feel has pushed out any of that old persona that would give somebody so many chances. I give a person the benefit of the doubt, like very outwardly, and I am watching everything. I am watching exactly how I feel around that person, if I'm indeed picking anything up from them, because that's a huge indicator. If I can't pick anything up from that person, but they are acting like I should be able to, they're acting really, really nice, which I can feel that. It feels like a warmth to me when it's genuine. It feels like presence to me, just the perfume of presence. When somebody is genuine with me, like the property manager, one of the property managers I work for, she is genuine. She is an earth angel. She is. She's the one I made the hummingbird wood for. So when I'm interacting with somebody and they're acting genuine, but I can't feel that at all, I can trust that. Yeah, and that's how this person is. There is absolutely nothing. But there is. Okay, here's a paradox. This is why it has taken me so long, and they're reminding me it's important up to a point to try to figure somebody out, but then after that, it's all the energy I'm putting into trying to figure that person out should be going into getting the fuck away from them. And yes, this will be not made for children. Get away. I felt like I was under a spell. I was so unconscious, but I wasn't. I was aware. I was aware of what I was doing. And I was aware that I had been taken over by this intense physical longing for this person. And I feel, and my intuitive tarot readers I listened to, it was all about somebody doing sexual magic on me. And I was just like, no, really? My God, yeah, it feels that way, because no matter how much I was meditating, it just didn't, and I've learned not, when I'm feeling intense like that, to just let it settle. Doing anything else exacerbates it. And this isn't a pleasant feeling I'm talking about. This is the root chakra being completely off balance, and the sacral chakra area. It's all of it is completely out of whack, because somebody is drawing off of that. Somebody with a much, much lower energy and tentacles. And they've went through their life, the ancients are saying, navigating, getting their supply through manipulation. It's survival for them. It doesn't even make him a bad person. It just makes him fucking creepy. And so these hoodies that he gave me are in my car. They're going to Goodwill. I couldn't even keep them in my house overnight. They spent the night out on the porch because I couldn't. Even though he'd washed them and everything, he had touched them. And he didn't come in. Absolutely not. So anyway, let's see. So how did it start? I was walking Doozer. Thank you guys so much for helping me not forget, because I almost have many times, but it's just like they keep putting my blinders on to any other thoughts coming in. So they're really surrounding me right now, like visually on the left. I've never had anything on the left, like two people ever. And now Paramahansa Yogananda and Papaji are just, they're rooted here. And Papaji keeps hooking arms with me. And Eckhart Tolle and Ramana Maharshi are on my right. Okay, so I was walking Doozer, thank you. I was walking Doozer and I heard a dog, and I got to the front of the park. The office building was in between myself and the dog that I heard yiping. And immediately, you guys, immediately I heard that dog yiping in pain, and I knew this man was connected to it. I knew it. And I cautiously turned the corner, and there he was with his two dogs crouched down in front of the yiping one. And I immediately turned. And it's so beautiful because, not for that dog, but, and they're saying he signed up for it. Okay, thank you. I'm shaking. They're saying, put your feet on the floor. Relax. They're saying he can't hurt you. No, he can't. And I can remain myself. I don't have to change myself. I don't have to be in self-protection mode or scared or anything. They're saying that because I've been able to practice my way basically into such a rooted place of being, that's why they're here permanently. They're here with me. Eckhart, yes, because he still has a physical form, yes, but he's more presence than person. So yeah, I asked that too. How can Eckhart be here? But that's why. And he's basically my master. Like, I know that I had my remembering experience with Muji, but I mean, Eckhart he's just been with me for so long, and he was the very first glimmer I got. Well, okay, they're showing me when I went to treatment for anorexia in 1989. That was the very first glimmer I ever got of presence. And then Eckhart after that. The distractions are just off the charts, aren't they? I'm hearing that dog in distress over this direction, and that's he lives 4 doors down, and that's exactly what his younger dog sounds like. So I'm going to close the window. It's almost like a spiritual warfare at times. Well, they're saying it is. It feels that way because it is when I'm fighting desperately to reach a new phase of in my ascension, a new level. It's like these old things. They'll try to grab at my ankles and pull me back. But I'm onto them. I see them. I see thoughts just as easily now too. And I'm really amazed that this experiment is going so well, very successfully. So I veered and went way around and went over to this place that I always take Doozer to, and came back and had a text message and knew that it was from him. I was just like, okay, that's what I get for, erasing his number, making it so he's unblocked. He's blocked now, and he will remain unblocked. There's zero reason to ever let him contact me again, to ever let him even barely suckle off of any of our energy. So he messaged me and said, sorry you had to see that. I said, I didn't see it. I said, I heard the yiping and I immediately turned away. And shocking, isn't this so shocking? This is going to shock the shit out of you. He messaged me and said, and explained exactly what happened, even though he knew he would know. He was literally disappointed, they're saying, that I didn't actually see what was happening, what was going on. He needed me to know what was going on. Wow. So, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I fell for it. I thought he did last summer, but he doesn't. He doesn't feel that way. He doesn't have the same feelings. And I thought he did because they're reflecting in your eyes. Is that you I see? Or is it now my very soul that's looking back at me? That's what I got from him. I got the best of him because I was reflecting it. I was breathing that into him and dying in the process. It was rough, you guys. It was so rough. I made videos through it, if you're interested in it at all. It was so rough. Started around the lust lesson. I was just like so excited and enamored by the devil. There, I just said it. That's what it felt like. And that's what he feels like. And I don't long for Ruby anymore. I kind of do, but she signed up for it, and so did his new dog, you know, and being who he is, he actually has to be a good person, you know, most of the time around his dogs because he cares so much about what other people think about him. It's all a conundrum, and I'm not going to try to figure it out anymore. A person with no feelings but cares desperately about what other people think, I know it's a category of a narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath. I know that. Some type of mental disorder. I mean, maybe it's not in that, I don't know, who knows, but I know it makes me feel anxious and I don't want to feel anything about what he's feeling. And so he said something like, I'm just trying to teach him manners. He's been hurting Ruby. And of course he knew that, you know, oh yeah, oh, that's good. I said, if that's good, Pat, good for you. And, you know, that's good that you're teaching him how to not abuse Ruby or whatever. I don't remember, but I was really tuned into how I was feeling. I was just like, okay, this is harmless. This feels fine so far. But then he said something about, yeah, we don't want him to, I don't know, it was a sexual reference anyway. And, yeah, I was just like, ha ha ha, ha. And, and then, and I was just like, oh, he's trying. Ugh. He's trying. Oh, that guy has zero game. Anybody that he would get, and see, yeah, myself included, my persona, it's been a year since last summer. So, I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me how different I feel from last summer. I feel, thank you so much for pointing that out. I feel exactly like I wanted to feel last summer. I was just like, man, I see confident women. I see women. I even talked to Moonstar. I think I talked to Ocean about this too. Maybe I did. About, I wish I could feel like one of those, just, she wouldn't even consider talking to somebody like him. You know, he is where he is. I'm not trying to put him down, but I would never have, now I would never. And I'm not even trying to be that person. That's just exactly how I feel. But that wasn't the case last summer. I had to get my ass kicked majorly to learn this, to like slip into place, they're saying. So any life lesson has been worth it to me, to be able to feel like I do. Yeah, and I'm so deeply grateful, and my heart just palpitated in resonance. So deeply grateful that not being true to myself incurs karma. And it hurts so bad. I'm so grateful not being myself hurts so bad. I used to think that I was just miserable, but I was just not being true to myself. Yeah. So what was the other pop quiz? Oh, so then he said, and then that's when I blocked him, was something about how he's just trying to get his life together, and how something about how he was last summer, and then the emoji where he's just like, and then he added, he acts strange, something like I tend to act strange when I'm attraction does that to me. So all the mental, emotional, and the last time I let him in my surroundings, physical abuse, he was chalking up to his attraction to me, which put me, he has blamed me at every turn. He has blamed anybody else that other than himself. And if he has, there's a paradox, but it's not really a paradox because he didn't really mean it. When he would take accountability for something, there was always a reason. There was always a yeah, but, or I'm really sorry you feel that way. Oh, I've learned so much. And when I was going through it, I know that I said things like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much right now. This really sucks or whatever, but I'll be so grateful that this lesson is over and grateful that I actually had this lesson. And they're reminding me that I would say, because if it's achievable, I will achieve it. And I have achieved it. Yeah, as far as feeling rooted in my femininity, and my masculinity also, they're pointing out, I feel incredibly balanced with my masculine and feminine. What was the other pop quiz we passed? The lake house took 6 hours and 45 minutes today. Did I already mention that? Did I forget? I don't know. Anyway, that was a pop quiz because that's a lot of cleaning. But the people, I think I did, I don't know, but the people had stayed there for a month, so it just took a while to reset it. They were incredibly respectful. It was amazing. It would have taken about 5 hours if it would have been like a week-long stay, but because they were so respectful. If they're not respectful, it's about 6 hours. If they're really, really, really disrespectful, then it takes the whole 7 hours, which is incredibly rare though. Uh, yeah, I kind of branched off there a little bit. Oh man. Yeah, the pop quiz was the lake house today. I stayed calm. I did realize that I've been experimenting with drinking coffee a little bit, iced coffee, not actually ice in it, but in the fridge. And it has tasted so good. I'm going to get some decaf now. But I've been trying to drink regular coffee and I haven't done that for so many years. I'm shaking right now. And I only had like this much of a bottle today. That much. Like 1.5 to 2 inches today, and that was this morning, and I'm still shaking. I didn't even drink the whole thing. I put the rest outside. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep this cold out here, and I was just like, holy shit, man, because I was so busy that I peed a couple times, and that was it. Like, that was it. I was not right under panic mode because I can't seem to disconnect my emotions from under panic mode because it's just too much. I'm one gear under panic mode all day for almost 7 hours. And at one point I was just like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about her like that? It's one of the property managers, not Ruthie. You don't know who I'm talking about. I don't think I've ever said her name, but the other property manager has been one of my greatest teachers. Yes, for whatever, not reacting. And I was thinking about her very poorly today. I caught it very quickly because those little sneaky thoughts try to get in there and try to niggle at my peace, the peace that I'm feeling, and try to get my attention. And it was getting my attention. I was just like, wait a second. Why am I thinking about her like that? Why am I thinking about her at all? The ancients were like, why are you thinking about her at all? I was just like, yeah. Why am I thinking about her at all? And I thought for a second. I listened. Because always, even if it's rhetorical, the ancients always answer me. It's so funny. And they said, first thing they said was, because of that coffee. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm vibrating. Yeah, that coffee is really making me feel like my fangs are coming out. Yeah, so I didn't think about her after that anymore. My mind wanted to, but nope, I just cut it off. I can do that now because I've practiced for so many years. I can just be like, nope, because I can see the thought come in. And then I just turn my attention to presence, and the thought just like slides off this glass. It's so cool. It just disappears. But for my own persona, for my own personal experience, I've had to, well, I've asked, I've prayed. I didn't put it there, but I asked for it, like this glass between myself and thoughts. That visual has really helped me over the years. And now it's just automatic, and I can see the thoughts coming, like especially after I'm like, wait a second, why was I just thinking about her like that? I really want to know. And then this, like, the second I'm aware that I'm thinking something like that, and that it will affect me, and it will affect her also, the second I'm aware of that, my light of awareness is so bright now, and the practice is so, has become so second nature, like learning another language. If a person practices long enough, they become fluent in it. And that's myself and the ancients. And oh, it's just so beautiful, because now when I think about her, I won't think about her anymore. Every time I go to one of my vacation rental cleans, if it's on a Sunday or a Monday, I start thinking about her, because the other property manager is gone, and I would have to deal with, yes, I would have to deal with her if I needed anything. But I feel incredibly divinely protected from her, as far as her being able to affect me in any way, as emotionally now, or any type of reaction, anger, frustration, anything like that. Yeah, that's one thing, that starving all attention to a person without creating resistance, that those are some of the benefits that we get. And it's just so much less mind activity, way less cortisol. They're saying we can be feeding ourselves cortisol, and we don't even realize it. But all of us, almost all of us, have the ability to have our minds more in their natural state of being, and be aware of the thoughts that come in, instead of being tortured to them to the point of giving up. That's how torturous they can be. And this video is almost over now, and I feel like we did really, really well on not forgetting. And there's some emotion coming up, and I am learning how to turn my light of awareness onto those also. But they call me Crying Buddha. The ancients do. And I don't think I've ever said that before, because it's just so precious to me, because they don't ever want me to feel bad about who I am. I've been crying like this since I was really little, and some of it was PTSD, but that's all healed now, and I've been surprised over the years that I still cry. My heart is so wide open, they're saying that. It's okay now. What were we saying? I feel so blessed. So the reason I started crying was, I watched a documentary once. It's just so touching. I watched a documentary once of all these people that jumped off of a bridge, a fatal bridge, And these bridges had phones all up and down them, you know, just in case the person would call somebody for help. And the documentary was on the 1% of people that survived the jump. They were consumed by thoughts of, I'll feel so much better when I stop thinking. Like they thought that just the thinking alone, like thinking dark thoughts, you know, the thinking is so torturous that people will end this life experience to get away from it. But then the 1% said that the second they jumped off that bridge, their mind changed. Something they could never ever do their whole life. They were tortured by their mind until they jumped. And their first thought was, oh my God, I wish I wouldn't have done that. 100% of the time, 100% of the 1%. I wish I wouldn't have done that. So, if you're tortured by your thoughts, you don't have to be anymore. It takes some work, but you may cry more. Because you're so happy because you're not tortured by your thoughts anymore. It's worth every second of it, of the growing pains. I'm going to go eat and absorb some of this caffeine. Thank you, ancients. Thank you so much for helping me not forget. They've never really ever come through as they do every so often. Like one will come through. But they've never been sat around me like this. Until the morning I went to see Ocean. Mom, did you know that? They're so plain to me now. My twin soul, I asked yesterday, why isn't he here? Well, he was my twin soul. You know, and even that is a concept. I hold it loosely. Lately it was an experience, you know, and it was a lesson. Yeah, they're saying it was a lesson. Of course it was, the twin flame lesson. But as far as, and they said that, well, he was the lesson. They are the ancients. I'm an ancient also. So that would make my twin soul an ancient. However, in this life experience, I decided yesterday, I don't want to take that out of my life. I don't want to believe that, even if it's true. I don't want to believe that my twin soul dropped his physical form. I'm not even really going to ever use that term. My divine partner is on his way to me, though, I know that. And he's going through pop quizzes right now, too. And he's passing them with cosmic A+. And he will never be mean to me. Ever. Even if he's crabby, he'll never be mean to me. That's how I'll know that he's my twin soul. And if he gives me piggyback rides. Don't worry, I wouldn't let just anybody give me a piggyback ride. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. We love you so much.